All right, I'm going to tell you motherfuckers exactly what kind of mood I'm in today. I don't normally drink on this show. Cheers, bitch.
That was a rough one. That was a rough denial. I spilled it.
A Great Depression is a podcast for every mall rat, JanSport, backpack, emo kid struggling with the boredoms of everyday adult life. Zach, hit my fucking music. We are broadcasting today from the
Oh, Daddy hit me.
We are broadcasting today from the Union Fitness Studios on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Union Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It's a place where you can transform yourself inside and out, based around a variety of classes: fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. And actually, real quick plug, this is coming out. You're listening to this right now, probably Monday morning. There's also the Union Fitness podcast is all about yoga today, which I highly recommend for all of us who are a little fucked up in the head. Something about breathing and stretching really fucking helps get the endorphins going, and it's a little less crowded up there after yoga. But they're based around a variety of classes: fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union Fitness the community that it is. Go to unionfitness.com today and sign up through a consultation. Through Union, there is strength.
Josh has been practicing.
I have it down now where I don't need the script. Yeah, it's pretty
I'm
impressive,
impressed.
I think. Zach, I texted you today to bring 5 songs that suck your soul out. I'm in a mood. I don't know why I'm in this mood. I had a great day yesterday. We were at the first Penguins game with fans allowed back in. So I should, by all accounts, be super happy. I was there with Justin Luder from Thoughts from the Movies, his brother. I love them both deeply. My wife was with me. It was a great whatever experience. But when I woke up today, somebody fucking pissed in my cornflakes. Like, there was no reason for it. There was no, like, rough awakening. There was no, like, I didn't get enough sleep. There was no hungover. It was just, I was just fucking mad when I woke up today. And I think a lot of you who are listening to this show right now are probably struggling with something, right? Probably a lot of you is a little bit of depression, right? Probably a lot of anxiety for most of you, right? Maybe some of you have some deeper seated issues. For me, the mental thing that I struggle with on a daily fucking basis is anger. And unlike a lot of the other mental illnesses that are taken very seriously now because of amazing conversations that have been opened up across the world where depression's okay, anxiety's okay, and there's medication and, all sorts of stuff to try to help you cope with that shit. When you're angry, they just hand you a fucking stress ball and say good luck. There's no like medication. There's no like, well, you should do this. It's like, well, you should just not be angry. Have you tried counting? Have you tried taking a deep breath? Like, motherfucker, fuck you. If you've never been uncontrollably angry, where like you can't even calm yourself down, like you have to hit something to feel comfortable again, you understand what I'm talking about. They don't have shit for fucking you.
Just the name Kyle.
You're
Sorry.
a fucking cock.
Sorry.
But do you know what I mean? Like that's the mentality that it is.
Yeah,
That it's being treated with is,
Yeah.
oh, okay, Kyle.
exactly.
Punched a hole in some drywall, Kyle. Have another monster, Kyle. Like, no, man. Like, that's just, my brain does not let me fucking calm down. My brain, like, I trip over the dog, I go 0 to 100. There's no ramp. There's no anything. It's just bang, I'm angry.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of the same way. But it's just like instantaneous. Like I'll smack my knee and then I'll be like the angriest I've ever been, and then I even back out. But there are times where you don't, and that's pretty fucking normal too. But
I don't even know if there's days that I ever come back down.
well,
I just reach a level, and that was today, of annoyed that I will never come back from. I won't recover from. I will be pissed off till I go to bed tonight. Like, we came in, we had an awesome meeting with the union guys about their podcast. We went over their numbers for the past year, and they were like super awesome, super positive. We had a great recording about their yoga podcast. Like, I should be in a better mood, and I'm not. Like, I was left alone for 30 seconds, and I went right back down. So the only thing that has ever helped me with this is some songs.
Okay.
And again, on the Union Fitness podcast, I'm just plugging them because they're on the top of my brain today. But they had a psychiatry student on who talked about, you know, if a song hits you in your feels, like, just fucking go with it. Like, it's okay to feel sad when a song comes on. You don't need to fucking change it or, like, get away from it. Like, sink into it, because that might just release whatever it is for you. And so I brought a list. I told you to bring 5. I brought 6.
That's fine.
Songs today that some of them are angry, some of them are sad, some of them are just like gut checks on life. And so yeah, here they are.
I just have Dragula 5 times.
Fucking right. Fuck you.
You know, sometimes you want to...
You know what? Fuck you.
Burn through the witches. Sometimes I want to dig through the ditches. Sometimes I want to slam in the back of my Dragula. You know, it all depends.
I fully did not anticipate laughing once during this podcast, and
That's
you
what
have
I'm here
already
for.
dragged it out of me, and I'm mad at you for it.
Well, I mean,
I have my fuck you hoodie on. I have the hood up. Like, I'm not trying to be fucking fun today, and you're, like, annoying me.
Well, I mean, I'm an annoying fucking dude.
That is true.
But I will say, you know, while we're talking about things you can address better as an adult, not even saying that, you know, your anger is something you
I was
should
gonna
address
say that's
better.
really negatively, like,
No, but when I got the text this morning that was like 5 songs that like
Yeah.
pull your soul out or
Yeah.
whatever, however you worded it, mine were just all super sad because I thought that's what that phrase meant.
Yeah, no.
But I could have communicated, and I didn't
Yeah.
because I'm a horrible communicator.
Oh.
Like, I could have sent you my 5 songs before we did this.
Yeah.
I could have sent you my assignment,
Right,
quote
right,
unquote,
right,
for
right.
thoughts from the movies before this.
Right.
But I didn't
But you didn't.
because I'm a piece of shit.
Well, I'll forgive
So is
you.
this your own? This is your own.
So,
playlist.
what is on screen right now is a playlist called "It's a Sad One," which I guess we'll start with where that catchphrase came from. This is "Don't Call Me Peanut" by Bayside. Zach's reaction, for those of you who are only listening, was his head reared back, his eyes went into the back of his head as the opening chords of Peanut played. And when Bayside came through a couple of years ago and played the acoustic set at the Rex, I was there with my brother, and when those few chords hit, I bear hugged him from behind, and I screamed, "This one's a sad one," and like Anthony had to stop and laugh. Now, every song at a Bayside show is a sad one. Spoiler alert. But this one's really sad for me, which is exactly why I screamed that at the show as Jack played the opening riffs. There's a number of songs my brother and I will hold each other and ugly cry to, like even at a show. This one's really tough though. Makes me think of when he was going through a really bad breakup.
Your brother?
My brother was. And so this chick cheated on him. We won't get into too much other detail than that just to protect him. But I wasn't sure that my brother was going to be able to keep his life through it. This was one of the darkest points in my life.
One of the darkest points of your life.
One of my points, because I didn't know. There were mornings I woke up and would text him and wasn't sure if I'd get a text back. Like, ever again. Yeah. This chick really fucked him up. And it was about a year after they had broken up, where we saw in that show, and Don't Call Me Peanut came on, and fuck, man. as the kids say, it hit different that day. And so now I can't listen to this song without just being, I guess, grateful that my brother is still here. I told you it's going to be a sad one. I'm sorry if you didn't get a chance to take your antidepressant in time. We were a little too silly the past 2 episodes. Let's bring this fucker back down to earth.
It's fair.
So yeah, Don't Call Me Peanut by Bayside. One of the all-time bangers and fucking sad songs for the fucking day. Sticking with the Bayside train. How about Winter?
I've actually never listened to this song.
Okay, so it's a sad one.
I'm shocked.
There was a point in my life, in my mid-20s, where one of my best friends was living really recklessly. Like, I wasn't sure he would survive.
Okay.
And I sat him down and I said, hey, man, if you kill yourself because you did something dumb, I'll never forgive you.
Have you ever had somebody kill themselves?
Like suicide or from like a drunk driving accident or something like that?
Suicide. But...
Suicide? No, but I've had friends hospitalized for attempts. But no, nobody's ever gotten a hold of it and done it.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. But I'm really an empathetic person, and Winter is all about, Anthony Ranieri having to call all of his closest friends and explain what happened and that somebody is dead. And I said to him, I'll never forgive you. And he's also a really big Bayside fan. And I said to him, if I have to play out Winter in real life, I'll be so furious with you. Luckily, that conversation and foot chase from the police helped straighten him out. But
shout out the police.
He's doing great now.
Shout out Sting.
But like between my brother, some of my friends, and I've had the scenarios play out in my head where I had to live Winter in real life, and it was emotional. And there's an episode of Scrubs where JD talks about how death just becomes another coworker. And I wouldn't say that death is so much part of my life where it's a coworker, but it's definitely the weird uncle that shows up at Thanksgiving, gets drunk, and talks about politics. Like, he shows up every 5 years and just fucking derails everything. Yeah, I saw him this year. So, I hate that motherfucker. But he knows me really well. So, second song was Winter. So those are two that are kind of like they didn't happen to me, right? But they like make me remember maybe some lesser times in my life and some things that maybe like I'm thankful for that I'm not in anymore.
Right.
This next one happened to me. This is Skinny Love by Bon Iver. Or Bon Iver, however you want to fucking say it. In the Christmas of 2014, my wife and I broke up. And we're only separated for basically a little over a week. But basically our relationship had become really toxic, and we were, even though we were living together, living completely separate lives. And because of it, it forced me to go find attention from other places. And that week was probably the worst week of my life outside of the week after my dad died. There was, the story, depending on how you tell it, is either, a happy story or a sad story. But it was Christmas Eve, and I was really depressed. And my brother made me download Tinder, try to get over it. So downloaded Tinder, set up my profile or whatever, and I'm swiping, and I just kept swiping no. on every one of them. No. And then Anastasia's profile came up. I drank as much human fucking whiskey as I could get into my system and blacked out, threw up all over the house, like everywhere. Like they were finding puke for months. And I just don't, like, I don't know. Like, I was just so mad because I didn't want to break up. But something dramatic had to happen to shock the system of our relationship back to caring about each other. I just remember being so angry. And I think that's what this song Skinny Love is about, is him just not understanding where it all went wrong and why they weren't ever able to course correct. Well, the next day, very hungover Josh, at Christmas, Anastasia showed up to my mom's house. And we left together that night and got back together. So, like I said, depending on how you look at it,
Yeah.
good song. Or good story, bad story. But Skinny Love still, just the pure anguish in his voice on this song transports me back to that moment, and I won't ever forget it. And I think it's a bad thing in a lot of ways because it doesn't let me ever heal from it, but there's a part of me that never wants to heal from it because I don't want to ever forget how much it sucked to lose her.
Right.
So, Skinny Love by Bon Iver. The next three. One of them's real sad. Do you want the real sad one at last?
I mean, none of mine are
Sad?
of mine are not sad.
Oh, okay,
so.
okay, cool. All right, then we'll save the D word one for last.
Dracula?
Dad.
Oh. I was like, you have fucking Dracula?
No, there's only one swear word on this show, and it's D. It's the D word, Dad.
There's a C1 too.
Yeah, well, so real quick. I've attempted to bleep the C word twice and missed both times. There's something about when I export it, it slides.
I'm here for it.
And it's now the bit. I think anytime you say
cunt,
I'm gonna try to bleep it, and yeah, it'll be a bit.
Yeah,
it'll be a bit.
I'm here for it.
It's now a bit.
Fuck the censors.
Yeah. Let's go with "Waiting for the End" by Linkin Park. So, if you're listening to this song for the first time, it's probably because you only ever listen to Hybrid Theory and Meteora, and maybe Minutes to Midnight.
I've never heard the song
This
except for today.
Is later Linkin Park, but it has the essence of early Linkin Park, but a little more grown up. And this is now as Linkin Park has eclipsed the cool new young band and are starting to become a parody of themselves. And people are really starting to take shots at them after Minutes of Midnight, saying they're kind of like washed up. They never had it. Like they were, whatever. And I have a really serious issue with not thinking I'm good enough. I've not thought I was good enough since I can remember. Whether it was getting cut from hockey teams or, like there was a year where my entire year moved up to JV. I got left on freshman.
Oh.
There's, plenty of times where a teacher told me I wasn't smart enough or that I would never go to college. I'll never forget the first, it's so vivid in my mind. In first grade, we had to do a paper about what we wanted to be when we grow up, and I misspelled hockey. And I remember the teacher writing in red ink, and it was red ink. You're never going to be a hockey player if you can't learn to spell it. Fuck you, Mrs. Tara Oskowitz, you fucking old cunt. So for whatever reason, I've really fought against that my entire life, is this feeling of not being good enough. And it's partially what's driven me to get where we are today. Thoughts from the Bench would not exist if it wasn't for that feeling inside of me that I have to prove everybody fucking wrong.
Right.
And I wish that it was easier to just like accept what I have and be faithful or happy for it. But I don't have that in me. And
Right.
that's what this song's about. And there's definitely days where I just get so fucking frustrated because I feel like I'm working my ass off and I'm not getting what I think I deserve. And I'm watching people who do less work get what I want. And this song, I have used it in a lot of different points through my life. But most importantly, I used it as the last thing I cut for the Penn State hockey story before I left that company. And it was a big middle finger to my old bosses, knowing that they would never be able to match that cut because they didn't care like I cared.
Right.
And they didn't feel that way because they had what I wanted. So, Waiting for the End, Linkin Park, one of my favorites.
I like it.
Yeah, dude. And if you're a old Linkin Park head, and you're like, nah, man, everything after Meteora sucks.
Suck me.
We somebody suck me. The next one is Off With Their Heads, Clear the Air. I wanted to share some important details that you're unaware of. I want you to listen. I want you to care. I'll choke to death if I don't clear the air. It's not a secret that I obsess, and then when I get angry, then I get stressed. You can't imagine and you can't compare. You have no frame of reference, and then you get scared. I'm doing my best to help you, make you see that it's not your fault when I beg and I plead. It's much easier to go back to sleep, but we got to find a place to start because I'm falling apart. The lyrical content of this song was the first time I heard verbalized how I felt about being angry. And like I could just quote the whole song back to you, but like he talks about wearing this mask and always feeling you have to move on because you've damaged a relationship to the point where you can't repair it because of your anger, because you snapped at somebody, and you feeling of like that you're burning bridges even though you can't fucking help it. That's just part of what you are and who you are. And as the song gets more and more in depth, the rhythm picks up and the speed of the song picks up to a point where he starts screaming and it's goddamn it, I'm falling apart. When Spotify recommended this song, I was like, oh yeah, you fucking think? Man, I just can't get over the intensity of this song and how it cuts me like a knife every fucking time. Every time I am really just like scrambling up top and I can't get shit straight and I'm like, why does nobody understand me? Why is nobody relating to me? I can play this song and it might take one play, it might take 20 plays in a row, but it will calm me back down. And I think the best part of it is like, don't leave yet. I haven't even gotten to the part that explains it all. Like he lays everything out for you for 2 minutes and 30 seconds and then tells you, well, I haven't even gotten to the part that explains yet.
Right.
And it's like, you know, classic fucking punk rock song to boot. So it's just amazing. I saw right before everything shut down, somebody's Instagram, they got to go see them. And I was mad at them that they didn't tell me that they were here. Not that they knew what that song meant to me or what this band means to me. They had no clue. But I
Right.
was mad that I didn't know, that somebody didn't let me know that, like, the fucking medicine that gets me over my own fucking skull was around.
Yeah.
Sip for the working man. Yeah, man. Do you know that song?
This song that just played?
Yeah.
I do not.
What songs have you known to this point, other than Bayside?
Just the 2 Bayside songs.
There you go. All right. So this last one. Mom, JP, if you are listening, please fast forward. So the next one is Paul Simon, Slip Sliding Away. Which, one of my fondest memories was cleaning the kitchen of the restaurant that my dad and I both worked in when I was like 17. It was actually one of my last happy memories with him. The soundtrack to that night was Paul Simon's Greatest Hits. So when he died, I picked up that CD and tried to find comfort in it. And then Slip Sliding Away came on. The first time I listened to it after he died, I realized that the song is essentially about my family. So the first verse is about a man that meets a woman and he wears his love for her like a thorny crown, and how that his love means so much to her, or his love for her means so much that he's afraid he'll disappear if she ever leaves. It was genuinely the relationship my parents had. And I could see it. The second verse is about a woman who became a wife, and how a good day ain't got no rain, and how maybe she had bigger dreams for her life, but this is where she is now. And not that she's settling, but that she had to redefine what happiness was. And my mom's never said that to me, but I've always felt it for her. And I think it's partially what has driven me so much, is to be able to give her the things I think she deserves. Even if that's me just picking up the tab one night at a bar or something. Like, I can't buy her beach house in South Carolina yet, but it's fucking coming. But it's the final verse that absolutely kills me. And it was what, like, crippled me the night I heard it. So I know a father who had a son who longed to tell him for all the reasons for the things he'd done. Okay? He came a long way just to explain. He kissed his boy as he lay sleeping, and then he turned around and headed home again. He slipped sliding away. I've never said this out loud, so buckle up. If there is an afterlife, I hope that's what my dad has to live through. Is that he has to go to my brother and I every night and not be able to explain why he fucking left. Because he had a choice. And he decided to be an idiot and not take care of himself. And I don't know what's worse, somebody who leaves on purpose or somebody who leaves because they were being too fucking stupid. So, those are my songs. I had to take a really big sip of my beer, one known as Big Brown Ale. Shout out to Voodoo, as we had them on 2 Beers Deep last week, or 2 weeks ago now, I guess. But yeah, man, those are some songs that I think the other thing was Slip Sliding Away. I have a playlist of a few songs that I listen to every year on the anniversary of my dad's death, and that is always the last one. and I just go for a walk, and I'm alone, and I cry. Like, I really cry.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
No. But, yeah. So that's some fucking shit, man.
It is. It's gonna be hard to follow.
Sorry, dude. I don't ever mean to do that.
It's all good.
I just, I think that's, you know, depending on how you frame it, some people say that anger can be passion. Either way, I have a lot of it. And there's days where the dam is just fucking broken off. And there's no holding it back. There's no anything. So, unfortunately, one of those days is today. Normally, Wednesdays are a happy day. But, yeah. What songs you got for us, Zachary?
So we got Dragula by Rob Zombie. Not really.
That could be the daily banger of the day.
Okay. No, we're gonna start off. I'll start off with a dad song.
Yeah. Fuck the D word.
Yeah. Fuck dads.
Yeah. Fuck that.
The Widow by As Cities Burn would be my dad's song. Yeah. I mean, I'll just let it play out for a second here.
Yeah, so this will be only for the Spotify the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, you can get fucked.
Sorry,
Hop
guys.
over to Spotify. But yeah, this is a song one of my friends showed me, and it doesn't directly relate to like my relationship with my father, but it comes pretty damn close. You know, he's saying here, was I just a seed buried deep inside some woman you met right before you crawled out of the bed down the hall? Did you think of me?
Fuck.
Did you even for a second hesitate in the doorway? It's just something that I want to know. So it's like a wild song because it's about his dad like leaving him and his brother.
Mm-hmm.
His dad being like a drug addict, and like how he just forgives him.
Right.
And it took like a long ass time for me to quasi forgive my dad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And some days I do, some days I don't, but you know, it's, you know, because your dad obviously passed away.
Mm-hmm.
My dad just, you know, did the dip.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it was weird because like I was young, I was like 5 or so, and like I just didn't care for like 20 years. And then like the older I got and the more of like an adult I became, I was just like, this is like, didn't get it, you know, and got like super jaded. And then just was like, does it fucking matter? Like ultimately doesn't matter. And I don't know if it does, you know.
Yeah.
Which is like a weird thing, because like I'm very content with my life. And, like the life I have now is like a product of the decisions he made, you know. And it's like, can I be mad if I'm happy? You know what I mean?
That's something I struggle with all the time, bud.
It's like a big question of that line right there. My mom told us to call you, or told us not to call you dad, but to call you father. That's a wild one, you know. And that's something I thought about, like, this dude's not my dad, like he's my father, but you know.
Right.
But
he's the white male breeder.
Yeah, you know, you just kind of struggle with like, does this man owe me anything?
Yeah.
You know.
Does he?
I don't know.
I like the idea of an explanation.
Yeah, I don't know. There was he lives like down south, and I was like an hour from him a couple years ago, and I was like, hey, like, haven't seen you in like 10 years, like I'm here for a couple days. And he was just like, oh, just like real busy. And I was like, we're good here.
Yeah.
We're good here.
So that was his explanation. There
Yeah,
it is.
but then like every once in a while I hear from him and he'll like want to talk, and I'm like,
No, bro.
about what?
Yeah.
Like there ain't got anything else to fucking say, dude. So my next one.
That you said you were worried about stacking up. I think
Yeah. Well,
you nailed it.
I tried to just pick like
Fuck the dads. Unless
yeah.
you're a good dad. Corey, you're a great dad.
Shout out good
Sean,
dads.
you're a great dad. Mike, you'll be a great dad.
I tried to just pick like sad shit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go. I want to do sad shit, but I want to do sad shit that people might not know. Like
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're
Well,
gonna
that's the hipster.
yeah
That's the fucking a Great Depression sad boy fuck boy way to do it.
yeah
I'm sad, but I'm sadder than you because you've never heard of this song.
exactly. So we're gonna shoot our shot on Spotify with a
Yeah.
couple of these.
Yeah.
But my number 2 would be "Glory" by the Hill Country Devil. Unless it's not on here. There we go.
There she is.
Shout out this YouTube channel called Gems on VHS. They do like a lot of country and folk artists, and they just like little videos of them playing their songs. So this dude, and I'm under the impression he was like a drug addict and shit. And one of the verses about him, like picking up a prostitute and like trying to cope that way. And one of the lines in the chorus is "Glory won't lay its hands on me," and just like that idea of like some people just you have these dreams and aspirations, and sometimes it's not in the cards, and because I think that's a big thing with like social media and shit. And I know this has probably been said ad nauseum, but like everybody posts like their ideal life that they want the world to see, and it's just like it's not fucking real. And when you see that all the time, you're like, fuck, like, is this what life's supposed to be? And it's not. Like, it's fake. It's not real. Like, it's not that a certain life isn't in the cards for everybody.
So, when my grandfather died this year, well, last year, it's almost a year anniversary of him dying. I took a lot of pictures that nobody's ever seen. Like, I have pictures of him dead in the bed. I have pictures of my grandmother holding this, like, corpse's hand. I have pictures of... We thought he had already died once during the week, and turned out he wasn't dead. And we did this really sick joke where it was like, well, we were all working in the house. So, like, when my grandmother needed to tell us something about, like, hey, a nurse is coming or something, she would go from room to room and hold a whiteboard up with what the message was on it, because a lot of us were on Zoom calls and shit. Naturally, the fucking sick fucks we are, we got a hold of the whiteboard and wrote "Chick Still Alive" on it, and would go room to room.
It's like the scene from Love Actually. Andrew Lincoln through the window.
And so I have a picture the night Chick died of Anastasia holding the whiteboard, and it says "Chick's dead."
Yikes.
But I don't think it's a sad photo. It's a happy memory. We were all there, man. It was great. He went out exactly the way he wanted to, like he did most things in his fucking life.
Right.
And so, like, but like those photos I would love to post on social media, but I feel like they would kill some people, particularly some family members who weren't there for it.
Right.
And it's not their fault they weren't there for it. There was COVID and all other shit. But like, yeah, man. I did post one of them, my brother smoking a cigarette. But, like, obviously there's no dead around it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But there's some really awesome pictures that I would be happy to put in, like, a gallery, because those people could appreciate it. But on social media, like, it's not happy and warm.
I mean, and that's the thing. That's like I'm so like to the point where social media, like the only reason I have it is because like we do shit like this.
Right.
Because I'm just so tired of you know, like
Not getting sugar mamas on it.
not even that. I'm just like, you know, I would probably. I'm just tired of like seeing people's like fake bullshit lives.
Yeah.
Or people saying every day they should fucking kill themselves. Like that's all my social media is. People that are fake happy and people that won't shut the fuck up about killing themselves.
People
that won't
are
do
sad.
It. That won't do it.
Right. Right.
Um.
Yeah, if you're actually sad, you don't talk about being sad. You're just fucking sad.
Yeah. Next.
Shout out to all you listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Next we're gonna do bad things to such good people.
I loved that, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great song.
That was fucking incredible. Of course, we've talked about how much I like Billy Strings, and that was kind of Billy Strings-esque.
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, let's do the Pedro the Lion. Let's do the original.
Okay.
Manchester does a great cover of it with Julian Baker. They take like a 2-minute song and make it like a 10-minute song.
Bad things what?
Bad Things to Such Good People. By Pedro the Lion.
I got really excited when I saw it was a Manchester song, but
I mean the cover
I'm sure
fantastic.
we've talked about, not on the show, but in the car driving to Wendy's, how good Manchester's covers are. All right, Bad Things to Such Good People. This is a jaunty tune.
Yeah, little sea shanty-esque.
Here's a little uptick.
Yeah. Lyrically, it gets worse.
Nice.
Yeah, it's about, a dude in jail. I think if I understand correctly, maybe kills his brother, and his brother's like the golden child of the family.
Oh, okay.
And the chorus is, I mean, it's just so depressing. But I just love sad music.
Yeah.
Because like if you listen to like, any radio top 40 shit, it's just like a bop.
As much as I love Welcome to My House, welcome to my house,
Yeah.
play the music. Yeah, does not hit you the same way that a good sad song can.
Yeah, I mean, just because like if you're angry and you're listening to angry music, like you're not thinking, you're just angry.
Right.
But like music that's like sad, that like makes you reflective, like sometimes that thought process leads to like another thought process, and like you can have like a good,
cathartic experience.
Yeah. He says like the good Lord smiled and then looked the other way. Like that's deep.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, I think this one I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna add it to my "It's a Sad One" playlist and go dig it up on my own, because I have a lot of bones to pick with religion too.
Yeah. Religion's a wild one.
It is wild. I like the idea of it, that like we're all like, hey man, everybody just be fucking nice to each other. But then also there's a lot of guilt and a lot of literally mansplaining and like a lot of I'm better than you going on that's not cool.
I mean, in defense of religion, I think when most of this shit was drummed up, women weren't allowed to read or write. So like a man
it's
literally had to explain it to a woman.
That's literally true. That is
know?
literally true. All right.
But yeah, just a good, sad banger. These are all super depressing.
I like that though, and I like that there's a cover version. I'm just gonna play the cover version real quick.
It's absolutely delightful.
Now
it's only 4
Manchester,
minutes,
as
Jesus.
only Manchester can, makes it sadder immediately with the piano.
It's so sad. I mean,
I'm just gonna skip before. Oh, his voice is haunting.
yeah. Have you listened to the new single Bedhead?
No. Good.
When we go to El Burro, shout out El Burro.
Oh, shout out to the Wednesday plug.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. I dig it. All right.
Yeah.
What else you got?
We'll go a little hometown here.
Yeah.
When the War is Over by the
Clarks.
Homeless Gospel Choir.
Are you impressed that Spotify has had all of these?
Yeah, I was impressed that they had the Hill Country Devil. my my number 5 and 6, I might try to hit him.
Why is this a hometown?
He's from Pittsburgh.
Fucking rights. What's up?
I think his
Homeless
name
gospel
is
choir.
Derek Zanetti. It's just one guy,
Okay, Derek
but yeah,
probably went to like Beaver.
probably.
Probably.
It's a great fucking song. This whole album is fucking great. But
Kind of sounds like Bob Dylan.
yeah,
Yeah,
kind of, yeah.
I fuck with that.
But it's about a dude that goes to war and he comes home fucked up. And what I mean,
But if my face don't look the same.
I'll let it ride for a second.
Oh,
Ready?
oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, so he's talking about if he's deformed.
Will I come back to the home that I know, or will it be strange?
Oh man.
Is it me or this house that has changed?
And like that he's deformed and like will you tell the kids not to be scared?
Yeah.
So this is really interesting because like I was like about to ask you like some questions about like your feelings towards war, but like this is just a sad song. This has nothing to do with your feelings about war. It has like this poor dude went, bad things happened to him, and now his whole fucking life is fucked up.
I'm so glad you said that because there was literally something yesterday, and I can't remember what the fuck it was, but I was like trying to explain like a song to somebody, and I was like, remember in the early 2000s where people were like, it was so Sunday night they had the Golden Globes,
Yeah.
and they gave Jane Fonda some like lifetime achievement or whatever, and I was like, do you know like a lot of people like really hate Jane Fonda because of like her stance on the Vietnam War? And they were like, no. And I was like, yeah. I was like during Vietnam, like, the closest thing that we have to Vietnam is like, the war in Iraq post 9/11. I was like, how America had this like, iffy to fuck the war stance, but like support the troops. And they're like, yeah. I was like, well, Jane Fonda was like, fuck the troops in Vietnam. like, yeah.
Oh shit,
I think they called
Fonda.
her like Hanoi Jane and shit. And like she would do like pep messages like for the Viet Cong and shit. Yeah, like she was a cunt. She was a cunt. She was a cunt. But I mean, you can say whatever you want about
Now there's
Vietnam.
like a series of 6 beeps happening.
Yeah. Cunt. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right,
so
Jane Fonda.
shout out.
Fuck off.
Yeah, shout out everybody that doesn't fuck with Jane Fonda.
Shout out everybody who doesn't fuck with Jane Fonda.
Yeah. So I thought about throwing in a Leonard Cohen song we talked about.
Yeah.
But I decided
The unaired episode of 5 albums that define you, where Zach picked the guy's death album.
Let's do that one because I picked like another Leonard Cohen song, but this one's pretty sad. So it's called Treaty, String Reprise. It's the last song on not his latest album, but the album he released before his death.
I can't believe you're making me listen to this
subsequent posthumous album. But this is sad because there's a song on the album called Treaty, and he revisits it at the end of the album, about it's over now, the water and the wine, we were broken, now we're borderline, and I wish there was a treaty we could sign, but then he fucking dies. So this is the last song he put to wax in his life, and it ends on this cliffhanger of wishing you could do something and then ultimately not being able to get there, and then he dies the greatest form of wishing you could do something and not getting there. Death is the number one stoppage of that.
What was the difference? He put this album out how many months before he died?
I think it maybe like 6 months or something. It came out before he died.
Yeah, so Zach said on the unreleased demo how Leonard Cohen was very much knew he was dying and wanted to record one last album, and this is how the album concludes, and it's this beautiful orchestral piece that leads into this haunting vocal of him explaining, yeah, exactly what you stated.
Yeah, and I mean, if you like sad shit, Leonard Cohen is probably the godfather of the saddest songs.
He wrote Hallelujah, and yes, that
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah from the Shrek movie, that one.
that one.
He didn't perform that; that was somebody else. But
Yeah, I
yes,
think Rufus Wainwright.
that sounds right.
Hey, that's no way to say goodbye. It's a good one. Famous Blue Raincoat. It's a great one. Um, and I guess to get kind of sad on this one because it kind of makes me think of this. And I don't know if you ever feel this way. Do you ever get like upset or angry that you don't necessarily remember the terms of how, like, it doesn't have to be romantic, but the terms of how a relationship ended with somebody in your past? Like, is there somebody that, like, if you saw them today, you would be excited that you saw them, but you don't necessarily remember like how your relationship with them dissolved?
I got one sadder for you.
Okay.
My best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I use that term a lot, but this guy I'd known since kindergarten. I've known this guy longer than my brother. And he was my brother, and he was unfortunately very poor as we grew up through high school, and my parents would like buy him clothes, and like, I mean, he was a part of the family.
Yeah.
Robert had his own room at my house. And the last time I talked to him, I hugged him and I kissed him on the cheek goodbye at my wedding, and he has not spoken to me since.
Really?
And there's been no explanation. He just
There was this girl I knew, and I met her at a party. It was like a costume party, and I uh, I don't know. I can't explain why, it upsets me so much, but I don't remember. I remember like bits and pieces of like spending time with her, and I'm not sure that we ever dated or if we went out on dates or whatever. But I know that like at some point, to an extent, we were quasi romantically involved, and I just stopped seeing her for whatever reason, and I have people that I've known in my life that have like died or whatever, and I really could give a shit less. Like no one that I've known that's died that like I actually really knew like has upset me as much as when I found out that this girl, died. And I'm under the impression that, it was suicide. But and I fucking can't explain why, but it's like the only person I know that's like died that's like not family that I care about. And it's so weird because like, and I think this is what makes me the saddest is that, she went to a great school, was going to med school, and then whatever happened, And I think about, I don't even know how to say it, like how like cool or like she was just like a very interesting, unique, special person. And I think like her entire life or whatever was like school of some sort or whatever, and just like accomplishment after chasing accomplishment or whatever, and that none of it like paid off, I guess, because
that's fucking sad.
you think these things pay off, like,
That's fucking sad.
right? And it's just like so strange that like of course all the people that I know that have died were like fucking burnouts and maybe didn't deserve it, but quote unquote, you get what you get. And I just it's like the one person who like just seemed the most undeserving to like end that way. And it's just I don't know. It's just so strange. And now Dragula by Rob Zombie.
I was gonna say now fucking Dragula.
No, I got one more.
Oh, you got one more? All right.
No, fuck it. Let's end it.
All right.
Let's end my spiel there.
I liked that last one. Now it's time for your daily fucking bang. Hang on, let me put my radio voice back on. Now it's time for your daily banger.
Can I tell a story about why we're doing Dragula?
Yeah.
So there's this guy that does covers on YouTube. I think the page is called 2 Minutes After Midnight.
Okay.
He like paints his face like King Diamond, like some black metal shit, and they just do covers.
Nice.
And I think the first one I saw was they did Demon Mono Mia or whatever it is / Earth AD.
Oh yeah.
From the
Okay. Yeah.
Misfits
Yeah.
album. And it was like a dude from Mastodon, this guy, dudes from like all these like punk and metal bands.
Cool.
And then Max Weinberg,
Just killing it.
who is the drummer for Bruce Springsteen.
Was he in a suit?
No, he was like in
Oh,
a
okay.
t-shirt and shit, but
Okay.
still he like sticks out, you know.
Yeah.
But this dude just posted this video the other day that it was like Dragula is a race car,
Race car,
with a
yeah.
hot rod from the Munsters.
Yeah.
And he does this whole video is like where Rob Zombie says like slam in the back of my Dragula. He was like the Dragula was like a 1-seat car. He's like he might have been referring to the Munsters main car, the Munster Mobile. He's like, and this might not be, you know, misinformation on the part of Mr. Zombie as
Oh,
much
and he calls him
as
Mr. Zombie.
yeah,
That's
as much
fucking
as like
incredible.
artistic, like, you know, licensing to make it fit with the song. And it's just like it's probably one of my favorite like
Breakdowns.
TikToks that I've seen recently.
Okay.
And I was like, Dragula's a great fucking song.
Dragula by Rob Zombie in 3, 2. Just like there's something about this song as a kid, because this is 98, so I'm 8, you're 7.
It's in Twisted Metal 2.
Yeah.
And when you're like fighting the black semi truck
Sure.
inside like the Pentagon,
Sure.
and it just rips.
It just but there's something about like, and we talk about this a lot, that there's like, we all heard that song. It's like, it's okay that you're weird.
Yeah,
This was it.
yeah.
This was it. You look at the Hellbilly cover, like he's all fucking zombied out, and like that video is fucking wild. I mean, there's just so much. It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah, I went to
Conquering the worms.
I would never intentionally go to a Rob Zombie concert just because
Why
it's
not?
like
They're a stage show.
yeah, but like tickets for a show are now like $100 now. So like I'm not gonna pay $100 to see Rob Zombie.
Dragula.
But he played on the stage next to where the original Misfits lineup played at Riot Fest in 2016. So I just like stood there and watched the Rob Zombie
I
set.
can't even imagine.
It was fucking cool.
It
It
is
was
fucking
really
cool.
It was.
I've
really
heard
cool.
it's fucking cool.
It was sick.
Because apparently he plays Erie every year. Like
That's a Rob Zombie.
That's a Rob Zombie place to chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
he's
or
like,
Youngstown.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Like,
He's like, these people get it. It's cold up here. They
Yeah.
hate life. They get it. Dying as you burn. All right, that has been a great depression this week, and it was certainly living up to the name.
it was sad. It was a sad one.
Fuck you. Fuck everybody else. We're now in your brain. We'll see your asses next week.